Before we start the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button so you can get all the new content from us. The movie begins in the North Pacific Ocean, specifically in a massive garbage patch floating in the middle of the ocean. We see an exploration team aboard a ship led by a scientist named Sophia. Currently, Chris, Sophia's fiancé, who is also part of the team, starts filming her as she talks to him. She explains that the area they are in is called the garbage patch, named for the simple reason that the ocean currents have gathered a huge amount of waste here. Sophia emphasizes the importance of protecting oceans and seas from pollution, especially plastic, which kills many birds and marine mammals. She adds that plastic can even change the behavior of large marine animals, making them more aggressive. Sophia tells the team that they are here to study mako sharks, which are found in large numbers in this area. We also learn that Sophia is specifically studying a particular shark named Lilith. While Sophia is filming and explaining all this, her assistant approaches and informs her that they've picked up a signal from Lilith. The shark is supposed to be somewhere nearby. Sophia then instructs Chris and 3 other crew members, Tom, Juan, and Sam, to go and collect a sample from Lilith so she can study it. She also tells them to check that the tracking device on the shark is still working, so they can keep tracking her movements. With Sophia's orders clear, Chris, Tom, Sam, and Juan gear up and dive into the ocean. As the 4 of them reach the bottom, they are surprised to find a small shark entangled in some garbage, having died because it was trapped for days without being able to move or eat. While the team observes the dead shark, they suddenly spot a group of mako sharks swimming nearby. They are shocked, because mako sharks are known to be solitary, and seeing them in a group suggests something has changed their behavior. This unexpected discovery unsettles the team, but the real problem arises when Sophia and her assistant realize that Lilith is approaching the crew. Sophia quickly warns them to take a sample from Lilith. They are astonished by her massive size, as she has grown far bigger than expected, and no one knows how this happened. Chris attempts to take a sample, but before he can, Lilith attacks him and the rest of the team, killing them all. Upon seeing the incident from the ship, Sophia decides to dive down to try and save anyone who might still be alive. Armed with a weapon to defend herself, she reaches the ocean floor, but is horrified to find only pieces of Chris left. Shaken by the sight, Sophia is confronted by Lilith, and she shoots the shark with her weapon. However, Lilith dodges the attack and quickly swims away. Unfortunately, a net attached to Lilith's body gets caught around Sophia's leg, dragging her down deeper into the ocean. As she is pulled further, Sophia struggles to breathe under the immense pressure, but manages to free herself and escape. 3 years pass since the tragedy, and Sophia is now working at a marine museum, still haunted by the loss of Chris and her colleagues. She has been trying to move on, but the memories remain fresh. On this particular day, Sophia is giving a tour to a group of children, teaching them about marine life, when one rude child reminds her of the team she lost. Upset, Sophia walks away. As she does, she is approached by a woman named Mika, who reveals that she has been tracking Lilith and wants Sophia to come with her to a secret location. Sophia agrees, and Mika takes her to a hidden base. It is revealed that Mika belongs to a secret group dedicated to protecting marine life. Sophia and Mika then meet another woman in the group named Ben, a close friend of Mika. Ben, it turns out, is a highly skilled hacker. She tells Sophia that she managed to hack the tracking device on Lilith and has been following her movements. To their surprise, Lilith is currently in Paris, specifically at the bottom of the Seine River. Sophia is skeptical, as mako sharks, including Lilith, do not live in fresh water. However, Mika insists that Lilith's behavior has changed, and she is now able to survive in fresh water. Mika explains that she needs Sophia's help to drive Lilith out of the Seine and back into the ocean, as her presence in the river is dangerous for both the shark and the people of Paris. As proof of the danger, Mika shares that a man recently crashed his car into the Seine, and his body has disappeared. Mika is convinced that Lilith is responsible. Mika tells Sophia that she plans to attempt to communicate with Lilith tonight and try to lead her away from the city. She asks Sophia to join her, but Sophia refuses, still haunted by the past and not ready to confront her fears. Disappointed, Mika leaves. That night, Mika and Ben head out on a boat to the location where the car sank in the Seine. Mika dives into the water and studies the vehicle, finding strange marks on the door that confirm Lilith's presence. Ben, keeping watch on the boat, spots a police vessel approaching. She signals to Mika to get out, and Ben quickly escapes with the boat, while Mika surfaces and is confronted by the police, led by an officer named Adel. Adel decides to arrest Mika and takes her onto his boat. Meanwhile, Sophia is at home, looking at old photos of herself with Chris and feeling overwhelmed with sadness. Out of curiosity, she checks Lilith's tracking device and is shocked to discover that Lilith is indeed in the scene. Realizing the truth, Sophia heads to the river to investigate for herself. Once there, she focuses on the water and eventually spots Lilith swimming through the river, confirming Mika's story. The question now is whether Sophia will join Mika in her efforts or continue to stay away out of fear. The next morning, Mika is in the police station, being interrogated by Officer Adele. He keeps pressing her about what she was doing at the bottom of the river, but Mika refuses to answer. Frustrated, Adel decides to hold her in custody. At this point, Mika tells him she was looking for a shark, but Adel doesn't believe her. However, not long after, Adel gets a call summoning him to a specific spot by the river. He decides to take Sophia with him, and when they arrive, they find another body, clearly killed by a shark attack. Sophia is horrified by the sight, realizing that Lilith is responsible. Adel, shocked and angry, rushes back to his superior, Captain Angel. He informs her of the dangerous shark in the scene. Angel is furious, especially since an international swimming race is scheduled to take place in the river in a few days. She orders Adele to take a team and kill the shark at any cost. Adel agrees but insists on taking Sophia along to track the shark. However, he refuses to bring Mika with them. Meanwhile, Mika asks her friend Ben to hack and disable the tracking device on Lilith so that no one can locate her. Mika doesn't want Lilith to be killed, she wants to study her instead. Ben agrees and disables the tracker. This causes Sophia to lose the signal from Lilith, but Adel doesn't care. He orders his men to dive into the river to search for the shark and confirm its presence. The divers soon encounter Lilith, and though they are terrified, they manage to escape unharmed. Adel, however, is not pleased and begins to suspect that Sophia tampered with the tracking device. He confronts her, accusing her of sabotaging the mission, which frustrates Sophia, and she walks away. Later, Adel meets with Angel to update her on the situation. She informs him that she will be meeting with the city's mayor to discuss the shark problem and decide on the next steps. Meanwhile, Adel grows curious about Sophia and starts digging into her past, discovering the tragedy she experienced years ago. Feeling sympathy for her, he decides to visit her at the Marine Museum where she works. Adel then tells Sophia that after learning her full story, he now trusts her. He asks her to join him and Angel in a meeting with the mayor so that she can help convince the mayor to postpone the upcoming international race until they take care of the shark problem. Sophia agrees, and they head to the mayor's office. During the meeting, the team explains the shark situation and insists that the race must be stopped. However, the mayor refuses, explaining that too much money has already been invested in the race, and it can't be canceled. She orders them to deal with the shark as quickly as possible before the event, and that's the only thing she's willing to discuss. Left with no choice, they all agree to the mayor's demands, despite knowing how dangerous the situation really is. As they begin preparations to take down Lilith, Ben, Mika's friend, shows up with alarming news. She informs the team that Mika has tracked the shark to a place in the river known as the Catacombs and is convinced she can use sonar waves to communicate with Lilith and guide her back to the ocean. Mika has already gathered several members of her group, and they plan to head to the Catacombs tonight to carry out their plan. Sophia and Adel are furious at the recklessness of the plan and decide to head there to stop Mika before anyone gets hurt. That night, we see Mika and the members of her group near the Catacombs. Mika dives into the river with a sonar device, hoping to use it to attract Lilith. Just as she's about to initiate her plan, Sophia, Adel, and a team of police officers arrive on the scene. They try to get Mika and her team to leave, but Mika refuses to come out of the water. Meanwhile, Lilith appears along with a smaller shark. Sophia immediately recognizes that Lilith has given birth. She urges Mika to leave the water, but Mika doesn't manage to escape in time. Adel dives in to rescue her, but as he approaches, Lilith attacks Mika, killing her instantly. Chaos erupts as people try to flee, and several members of Mika's group fall into the water, where Lilith and the other sharks attack, killing many of them. In the end, the scene turns into a massacre, with both Mika and Ben among the dead, along with many others. Later, we see Sophia in the hospital, overwhelmed as she looks around at the injured and the dead. It's like reliving the nightmare of her past all over again. Soon after, she and Adel return to the catacombs, where the police have captured the small shark that was with Lilith. Sophia takes the shark to a lab for examination and makes a shocking discovery. The baby shark wasn't born naturally. Lilith reproduced on her own, without mating with a male shark. Sophia realizes that Lilith isn't a regular mako shark. She's an entirely new species that no one knows anything about. This explains her rapid and unnatural growth. Sophia tells Adel that they must stop Lilith as soon as possible, and he agrees. However, they are summoned by the mayor, who is furious about the failure at the catacombs and the loss of so many lives. She informs Sophia, Adel, and Angel that they are no longer in charge of the situation. The military will now handle the shark problem and ensure the safety of the city during the race, which, despite everything that has happened, will still take place as scheduled. The mayor refuses to cancel the event, which infuriates Sophia. She argues with the mayor, but the mayor is indifferent and dismisses them all from her office. Later, Sophia and Adel sit together at a cafe, discussing what to do next. They know they must stop Lilith before the race begins. With time running out, they meet with Angel and some police officers. They explain that in just a few hours the race will start, but before then, they need to deal with Lilith. 4 officers volunteer to join them, and Angel informs them that she will stay with the mayor during the race while the team takes care of the shark. The team comes up with a plan. Adel, Sophia, and 2 other officers will go down to the river near the catacombs, where they plan to lure Lilith into an area rigged with explosives. Meanwhile, 2 other officers will wait in a boat, ready to pull them out once the mission is complete. As Angel and the mayor prepare for the race, with hundreds of participants entering the river, Sophia and her team begin luring Lilith. But to their shock, Lilith isn't alone. She arrives with a swarm of sharks, revealing that she has turned the area into her own colony. The team realizes the gravity of the situation. As they try to execute their plan, some of the sharks attack the officers, killing them one by one. Adel and Sophia barely escape the massacre, managing to blow up part of the river. However, when Sophia checks on Lilith, she's shocked to see that Lilith is still alive and headed straight for the race. Lilith attacks the boat carrying Adel and the 2 remaining officers, flipping it over. She kills the officers and leaves the area. Sophia realizes that Lilith is now on her way to attack the race participants. As predicted, Lilith and her swarm of sharks reach the race and begin slaughtering the swimmers. The military intervenes, firing at Lilith, but she quickly escapes. The gunfire triggers dormant World War II explosives buried in the river, causing massive explosions. Many people fall into the water, including the mayor herself. Chaos ensues, and the rising tides make things even worse. A huge wave crashes into the area, sweeping Sophia and Adel into the river. They manage to climb onto a piece of debris to stay afloat. Looking around, they see the devastation, with the sharks now in full control of the river. Sophia and Adel realize that there's no way to stop Lilith and her sharks. The catastrophe has been caused by human negligence, which changed the sharks' behavior and led to this disaster. The final scene shows Sophia and Adel staring at the destruction around them, unsure of what to do next, as they realize that the sharks have claimed the river for themselves. The movie ends with a clear lesson: humanity must stop neglecting nature, or it will face catastrophic consequences. And with that, the film comes to a close.